Our goal in this lecture is to create this table that you see, which is my prediction of Euro 2024, which hasn't happened or hasn't finished yet. So far, Germany and Switzerland are the two teams in the top 16, and I'm waiting for the Spain versus Georgia and England versus Slovakia. So I'm saying this is my prediction that what would happen at the end of the Euro 2024, at the time that I'm making this video. Those things have happened. So I say we want to create such a table in an animated form, and it would start like this, meaning you would have a table, it would start like this, and then the color and other things would change, and you could also apply other changes as well. So we have two rows, right? The two rows, first we look at our data, how many rows and columns we have. So I call the first one as my data. I call a variable any name that you want. In my data, I want to have in my table, I want to have 2 rows and 4 columns. So the 2 rows I specify in this 1 row and 2 row. You see, both of them has to be in an array. So the things that I provide in the first would specify my first row, and this is my second row. As many as rows that you have, you would add arrays. As an example, if you had 3 rows, you would say another array, and so on. Now, in each array, you have to provide 4 values, because in each we have 4 columns. Therefore, in the first row, my 4 columns would be champion, second team, best player, and best young player. So right now, I simply write champion, and then another string, I write second team or runners up. The third one would be MVP or best player, and the fourth one would be the best young player. In the second row would be the names. This would be the second row, which the first one would be Belgium. The second column would be Netherlands. The third one would be De Bruyne, with some space. And the fourth one would be Jeremy Doku. So the way that you create a table is that you define another variable, and I just say table, and I provide my data inside. And then we need to add it, so I say self.play, and then I say write. In the right, I would say, obviously the name of the variable that contains my table, and at the end I would add some wait, as much as maybe 1 second or maybe 2 seconds. Now I execute this, and let's see the result. Let's see the result. Right now it is getting rendered. As I said, on your laptop it would be much faster because you're not having a recording device. And also, so this is right now our table. As you see, it doesn't fit. So to make it fit, we would say a scale, and maybe by a factor like 0.6. Now execute it again. And the next thing, after it is getting rendered, you would need to want to change the colors that you saw previously. So let's see the result of the program so far. So right now it has been fit. So I want to change the color of the first row to yellow. So I do this. I say T1, which is my table, dot look at the rows and get me the first row. That's it. And what I want to do with the first row, I say I want to change its color to yellow. That's it. Now, then I want to change the first element. So far, actually it didn't change. Let me think to see why it hasn't changed. So it's a bit surprising. What I wanted to do was to create my table, scale it down to 0.6. Look at the first row by saying t1.getRows, set color to yellow. So why isn't it showing? Let me actually execute this one more time. I don't think it should have any problem. Let me maybe add some more weight. just in case we are not saying it because it is passing. So I add some more weight to see the result. So it's getting a bit longer to execute actually. Maybe I should restart it one more time, but I don't think we should have any problem right now. So let's see, it is getting rendered again. And we shouldn't have any problem actually. We didn't make any mistake. So it is getting rendered, and by now, yes, it has finished rendering. So this is our table, and yes, you see the color of the first row has been changed because I added some weight. Previously, just the moment the video ended, the color changed, it nothing happened. You could always, as I said, use animate to change it in animation form. So after this, I would want to also change the Belgium color, only one of the cells rather than one row. I want to change one cell. So what I say is that look at my table again, look at my rows or get my rows, look at the contents of the first row and the first column, first element. Then set its color since they are red tables. So I change it to red. I would also want to copy paste this. Now, first row, which is actually the second row, the row with the index 1, which is the second row, and the column 2 as well, the column at the index 1, which is the Netherlands. The color of the Netherlands cell, I want to be changed to orange. Copy paste this. Next one would be the color of Kevin De Bruyne cell that I want this to be changed to maybe green since he was the best player, I think. And the last one would be Jeremy Doku, which I also leave the color to be green as well. Those two, I think, my predictions that they would be the best players. So I changed this. You could always add some weight in between to make this better actually. So right now this is our animation with all of their colors. See? So next thing that I want to do is to change the color of this cell exactly, but not only the text, but all of the cell. So the way I would do this is this. I say T1 dot add highlighted cell, and now I say look at so this time the rows are specified with number rather than the index. So I say row 2, you see previously row 2 was actually the row with the index 1. Now instead to get the row 2, you just simply say 2. Row 2 and column 1, 2, 3. So row 2 and column 3, I want its color, the color of the cell completely to be changed to red. Now I press Ctrl S so that this will get executed as well. See, what I have asked is that the second row, which is this one, column 1, 2, 3, depending on the property class, the function that you use, sometimes the index, depending on how it has written, who has written it, sometimes it is specified with the index, sometimes the number. So this is the table that we have created that we promised. And there are so many other properties and methods that you could run to make your table more beautiful, but the most important part is the creation of it. As I said, if you want to specify the number of rows, you just add, and don't try to do it in a way that first complete the first row and then go to the second. Just say my data, and if you have like 5 rows, you say, okay, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and the fifth one. And then if you have like 3 columns, you would say, okay, first column, second column, 3, the third column, and then you do this for all of them, and then you write the string that you want it to be in the cells that you want it to. So that's it for the table section of our course, and I guess that's the end of this lecture.